What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Hoda Husband Podcast. I'm your host, Terry DeRon. I got both of my co-hosts on the line with me tonight. I got my man Jay in the building. What's good, man?
Not much, man. Glad to be back on here with the fellas as always. But want to quickly remind you, you can catch us on TikTok as well as subscribe to us on YouTube at Holders Podcast. And for those interested in promos or shout outs, you can shoot us a DM on IG at Holders Podcast, as well as emails at holderhusbandpodcast@gmail.com. All right, T.
I also have my man SD in the building with us. What's up, man?
Nothing, man. A little tired from work, but I'm gonna get through it. Excited about this episode. But first, I want to give a shout out to Brother Soul Productions for always keeping the background audio fresh. And I want to remind you all to donate to the Hold a Husband podcast on Cash App and PayPal. All right, T.
I want to remind everybody that y'all can catch the audio playback of the podcast every Monday afternoon at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time on thecore94.com. This episode is titled Draw the Line. And we're going to be discussing some of the compromising situations that can come up when infidelity or cheating is discovered, either by a friend, family member, etc. So I'm interested to pick y'all's brain and see what y'all think about that. But y'all know how we do around here, man. We like to discuss stuff that we've seen trending or on our timelines. And we got a couple of real interesting topics this week. This first video is a video where a man's actually explaining one of the biggest fairy tales regarding Cinderella and the whole Prince Charming and everything. And he talks about the original story and how Disney kind of manipulated it. Let's take a look.
Disney has really murdered those stories, really bastardized them. So Cinderella in particular, in the book, the reason the prince likes her is because she lived a life of labor and she had responsibilities, and that gave her character. And so when she went to the ball, the other women were boring and entitled and bratty, and the prince was tired of them. He liked her because of her character, which came through having responsibility. That's completely left out of the Disney movie. They turned it from a story in which working and developing character will make you into something that men value, and they'll pick you over bratty, entitled women. They changed that to, you shouldn't have to work. A fairy godmother will make you hot, and then a man will like you for no reason. They took all of the morals out of the story.
Now we've complained about the impact that fairy tales have had on women lots of times because it creates a lot of delusional thinking and a lot of delusional expectations of men. And Cinderella in particular is one because the rich, popular guy just chose a woman for no reason whatsoever. Just he spotted her at a party. So I always thought the story was silly. You know what I mean? Like even as a child, I remember thinking how dumb of a decision that would be as a prince to just choose a woman randomly like that. So it was interesting to hear somebody break down like that.
Yeah, I mean, it makes perfect sense, right? Get rid of the part where she's soft and feminine. And that's why the man chooses her, because she's not like, you know what this remind me of? I don't know if y'all ever seen the old movie The Ten Commandments. Y'all ever seen that with Charleston Heston?
Yeah.
Yes, I remember the movie. I saw it so long, but yeah, I remember the movie.
Remember when he wandered, when he got kicked out of the kingdom and he wandered off through the desert, and then he come upon all these here girls out in the wilderness, and he got to choose a wife because he was the man out there, and it was like 10 sisters.
All of them wanted him, yeah.
All of them wanted him, and he chose the quiet one, the feminine one that wasn't brash and out there trying to impress them and shake their booty and all that. Like it's the same thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what men love about women. Dude, and let me say this: men love that about women. They want to take serious.
Yeah.
Yes. Men also love what the hoes do. Men love the hoes that's out here twerking, half naked, and doing that type of stuff on social media. They just love them for two different purposes. And that's what women don't understand, is that when a man is looking for a more serious relationship that could potentially lead to marriage, he wants those soft, feminine, modest, respectful women with integrity. not the one that's out here talking about, forget
How
a
wet it
dude, I'm out
get.
here in the street. Yeah, my head is so sloppy and half naked. Like, that's not what men want for long-term relationships. And it shows in how we choose women to marry and all this other stuff. They completely oblivious to it because they can get sex and also money from them dudes too. So this was a plan by society and the government to push women away from the soft and feminist, the soft and feminine ways into the more masculine behavior and telling them, hey, you don't need a man for anything. Yep. Jay, what you think?
Man, it's crazy how they conveniently left that part out of it, that, hey, Prince Charming wanted the woman that was, feminine, not bratty and entitled, and they just left that out. That's crazy. So it just goes to show that, hey, men in this society is up against an agenda here, because here you have Disney, a billion-dollar corporation that's made billions on these fairy tales, and honestly, it's ruined a lot of these women's love life. It's caused more harm than good here in these movies.
Yeah, I mean, it's followed up by romantic comedies and teenage shows and all these type of things where, like he said, women are just choosing for being attractive, and unfortunately they idolize the idea of love and falling in love and forever after and all these type of kind of cliche things that don't really represent real life. You know what I mean? Like, you're much likelier to have long-term success with somebody that you chose for logical reasons and where you actually establish compatibility. Because if you pay attention to the things that are needed, necessary for long-term success, and you figure that out while you're dating and make that decision before you get committed or before you put yourself in a position to be pregnant, I think men and women would have better results with a strategy like that.
Yeah, but see, those types of movies, it completely destroyed women. And not just that one, it's a plethora of them, right? That kind of along those same lines, like, hey, you could be however you want, and you're going to get the top guy of the top guys, right?
Right.
So now, what do we have now? We have a bunch of average women that don't know they average. That's like, hey, I want the top guy, and I won't settle for anything but the top guy. Like, they have no.
They would rather really be single.
Yep. Yeah, they don't rather. That's not true. Ones. That's not. That's
I mean,
not
well, let me finish that. They would rather be single than date guys that are on their actual level.
Okay, I get. I'll probably give you that. But this is the thing. They keep dating the same dudes, and then wondering why the guys that'll sleep with them, which sometimes are top men, don't want them seriously because you are out of your league. For men, for a lot of men, it ain't really no league for sex for a lot of men. Dudes will hit anything.
Physical attraction.
Yeah, and it ain't even got to be physical attraction. It ain't even got to be nothing like that. The dude ain't got to like you none. You think that these here fools out here like prostitutes? No, they just like, yo, I'm gonna get my nut, and that's that. Yep. So what I mean is, a dude ain't gotta be attracted to a chick. He can just get his nut, and then he going about his business. He don't care nothing about you. So the women are a lot of women are out of their league with what they are looking for. They don't know their average, so they dismiss the guys that are average in their eyes, right? Average earner, average height, average looking. He's dismissed. They want the guys that are above average in money, above average in height, above average in looks and personality and all those things. And those guys are typically hoes. That's why the women complain as much as they do. But it's the Cinderella effect of I can do whatever, I can be whatever, I got titties and labias, therefore I should get the top man. And that's completely unrealistic.
Yeah, and it's even enhanced with their ability to get a BBL or plastic surgery to enhance their physical attraction or sexual desire among men. So you're right. There are a lot of things at force that have caused the delusion we see so commonly today.
Yeah, but what does increasing your sexual desire to men do? Like, you can get men sexually anytime you want. So you increase the sexual desire for men, but not the relationship desire for men.
True. You're very true. Yeah. Let's keep things rolling now. This next video or topic might be a bit sensitive, but I came across this video of a guy talking about a situation where a man gets a call to defend a female family member in a domestic violence type of situation. Let's take a look.
When it comes to like even a man, if he hitting your sister, you only got one time.
One call.
You got one time for me to step in there and do whatever I'm doing.
And you get after back that, with him. You get back with him.
You can never be with this again. Once you do that, because I know it also endangers my friends, everybody that's involved. Because if I'm in something, they in something. You go back to that, I can't involve myself no more. Absolutely. Because that person is literally bringing you down. And that's a very tough thing for people to do in reality, because one, it's two things you fighting. You care about the relative, but you fighting your own ego too. It's like, yo, this think he could put his hands on my it really starts being about you. He think he could do that to my family member.
And on the flip side, you got always understand you could die too.
Yeah, you don't always win.
Yeah, you hit the reverse button and then what?
Just because you in the right, you feel like you the
right.
Somehow you get the superpower.
A lot of chicks done got their brothers killed.
That nigga 22 years old. I don't care what you and your brothers.
And the crazy part about when they get back with the they don't understand that me and this still got beef forever.
Man, I've never personally been in a situation. Well, I'll take that back. I had a situation where me and a cousin went looking for somebody, but it didn't actually result in an altercation and whatnot. But they're absolutely right. A lot of guys, when you hear that a family member's being, abused or something like that, you immediately go into an emotional state. Rage is an emotion. And so a lot of guys react out of rage and anger, you know what I'm saying? Like they said, ego, all those things. And a lot of times liquor and drugs are involved too. And that's where you get a lot of bad decision making that it, causes a lot of people to end up dead or in jail, or to do things that could have been resolved with a simple conversation. But I can't even imagine you go to defend your family member and you put your life in danger, and then the next day they get right back with the dude. That's just crazy.
Yeah, I agree with the dude 100%. Like, listen, once you call me, this better be over with. I'm telling you, because the next time he go upside your head, don't call me because and even going for the first time, like that's my sister, I'm going. Like, hey, it is what it is. We gonna sort the rest out later. But let me tell you something. When I get here, ain't no way you going back to dude. Because if you go back to dude, now me and you gonna have a problem. Not just me and him. Me, you, and him gonna have a problem. You can't reach out to me no more because I'm gonna end up, and it's a bad situation because you could end up either hurting him really bad or ending his life, or he could end yours. And now what? One of y'all in jail or whatever because you done went over here, started mess, whatever the case. Like, it's just one of them situations. And dude is also right about, it's been a lot of dudes that's done had their lives ended over women. And they mess. And then they go with the guy. The one story where the dude got killed at the gas station defending a chick with a guy, and then she left with him. She went and left with him. So, you got to be careful, man, and get the full story. That's what's important. You get the full story before you can't
react to just that. You're right.
What they say, because it ain't
summary.
Yeah, even though a man shouldn't be hitting a woman anyway, but you don't know if she went at him with a knife, if she went at him with a bat, he snatched that back and backhanded her or something. Who knows? Like, you got to get the whole story, because if you listen to the women, it'll never be their fault. They never did anything wrong. This dude just hauled off and slapped her.
Out the blue.
Right? Yeah. But you get the whole story before you go running over there trying to play Johnny Law and tell her, call the police. Call the police. If you serious, call the police. get a restraining order, get him put up out that house, and I'll meet you over there. There you go. That keep you out of mess.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a classic case, what he was explaining, having self-control, just logic over emotion. Because a lot of times when women go with of a domestic violence situation, they may or may not embellish the story, and they might not tell you the whole story. So they're trying to play on your emotions. So you go over there, you ready to go fight the dude, or kicking the door, waving the 4-4 and all that good stuff there.
Oh, man.
Hold on real quick.
Go
ahead. Yeah, because the headphone. But hey, this just happened a couple years ago with the football player. Remember the football player? And his girlfriend was over there, and she called her brother and them to come over there. Said he.
Oh, yeah. And he got off on that.
Yeah, about 4 or 5 of them showed up to the house, and he started shooting because they showed up with guns and everything. Yeah. He wound up killing one of the friends. And the girl was sitting on the stand like, yo, whatever, she didn't get in no trouble for that.
Out of Florida.
No penalty.
Yeah, and dude wound up getting off, which he shouldn't have been charged anyway. But this is what I'm saying. You go charging into these here situations with your feelings and your emotions, and now you at somebody else's house. This is their house. Now you done went over to their house.
Where they got the upper hand.
With a gun. Whatever the case, and now he has every right to defend himself at his home. You don't know what's gonna happen here. Like, man, call the police, like I said.
And that's the whole reason, why as you mature and you get older as a man, you avoid confrontation and you avoid fighting in these type of situations. Because just because it start a certain way don't mean that's how it's gonna end. You don't know who's gonna jump in. You don't know what other weapon or item is going to be added to the equation, and a situation can escalate out of control very, very quickly. Especially, in Kansas City, where I'm from, man, clubs don't stay open very long for that reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, because where I'm from, it might not be a fight in the club, but now you've created a situation where you got to get from the club to your car. And that's where the danger really lies in these type of situations.
The rule of thumb was, if you got into a fight in the club, you better get there before they leave. Leave before they do and get to your car before they do.
Yeah, man, that's crazy, man. So, and I don't even talk to for one, I don't go over women houses for these here particular reasons. I don't go to their cribs, and I just like to deal with women that carry themselves a certain way. When you dealing with the chicks that listen to all this here mess and they idols is the girls on social media and all this here stuff, like they live a certain lifestyle. I can tell you that right now. They live a certain lifestyle that could bring you a lot of drama and a lot of nonsense. Like you said, when you get older, you don't be wanting to deal with none of that.
Hell no.
That's why I stick to a certain caliber of woman, where it's less likely that she gonna have a lot of drama and nonsense in her life. So,
yeah, I mean, anytime there's a woman that you become involved with, there could always be an ex or a jealous dude that feels some type of way about it. So that's kind of just one of the side effects that come with having an attractive woman or a desirable woman. But God, if you're used to dealing with those kind of women, you kind of get used to it. You get used to getting hated on and things of that nature. But man, dudes these days, they scared to lose a fight. So most situations that become physical don't just stop with fist action these days. These guys are too embarrassed to. I mean, I can't really talk. We didn't have the threat of going viral over losing the fight, so I guess that changes the math a little bit. But to me, fighting has always kind of been the ultimate mano test. So I enjoyed fighting. I just never started the fight. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why self-defense is important. You know what I'm saying? I boxed for about 10 years, but I think that before you can buy a gun, you should have to get in a boxing ring somewhere and learn how to fight and keep your emotions under control. Like, I think that's a good thing. Like, you got to win a couple fights before you can get a gun. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because fighting and being in some type of self-defense, it teaches you to control your emotions even when you're mad. You know what I'm saying? You boxing somebody tagging that nose, you know what I'm saying, hitting you in your mouth. You have to stay composed and still execute the plan of whatever it is that you and your coach went through. So that's what self-defense does for men. It keeps you, it's supposed to keep you under control emotionally. Therefore, when you do go outside, you just don't use what you know against somebody. And it's the same thing when you carrying a gun. So I think that, you know, before you can get a gun, you should have to win some fights.
Yeah, that's a good theory, man. But the problem with that is so many people get guns from the streets, you know what I'm saying? Or from their brother that went to jail, from their cousin. Like, so it's very difficult to keep track of who's actually going to be putting their hands on any gun, legal or illegal. Let's keep things rolling, man. We are up against the clock. We about to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be getting into tonight's topic, drawing a line, where we're talking about discovering infidelity and how that can lead to some very difficult decision making. Y'all are tuned into the Hold a Husband podcast. We'll be back in a moment. Hi, I'm relationship coach and author Terry Duran, and I am pleased to announce that my book, It's Not That Complicated, is finally available as an audiobook. So if you don't like to read, or you just don't have time to read a paperback book, this audiobook is perfect for you. You can listen to it while you're in your car, while you're at work, etc. In the book, I break down how husband material men think and operate in regards to sex, love, and relationships, and I provide real quality insight on how husband material men approach dating. The audiobook is available on audible.com and on iTunes. All you have to do is go to one of the websites and search for my name, Terry Duran. Go download your copy today. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Hold a Husband podcast. Tonight's episode is titled Draw the Line, where we're talking about the uncomfortable situations that can arise once cheating or infidelity has been discovered. So I wanted to talk to y'all. I don't know if y'all have ever been in this situation or had to deal with it personally, but what do y'all feel is the appropriate move when you find out that the partner of one of your friends or your family members is cheating on them?
Let me think real quick. Well, you know, it depends. You know what I'm saying? Well, no, okay.
What depends on what?
None. So let me just give y'all the answer, right? Because this can go a couple ways. Because if they don't see me, then I'm gonna just be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. But if she see me, now she can kind of put me in a bind with my cousin also. It's a catch-22 because she might get caught and be like, yeah, your cousin knew it. SD knew it. He knew already, or he tried to get at me. And now it's like, wait a minute. I didn't do anything. You know, so it's just one of them situations, man. I've never been in a situation like that. I never want to be in a situation like that. But, you know, and then a lot of times, if you do tell, a lot of times they don't believe you anyway, especially if it's women more than men. I think they won't believe the woman and think that she's just trying to get her man. I've heard of women doing that too and not really believing them. So, I mean, if they ain't going nowhere, I ain't telling them nothing. If he been a fool all these years or he a simp and I know he ain't going nowhere, man, I ain't telling you nothing.
Damn.
What about you, Jay?
Man, you know what? It's a tough one because it depends on, you know, if I'm really close to the person like that, I might go back and say something. But I think if it's just like somebody, maybe I'm just cool with, I'm an associate. I don't know if it's in my place to really go ahead and go tell. It's tough because I've never been in a situation like that. It's not a situation I want to be in because it's an uncomfortable situation. And like you said, it could be an uncomfortable situation for because you might go back, hey, such and such is doing this, and they don't believe you, or they get mad at you for telling.
Yeah, man, it's very sensitive, you know, because it's one of those things that a lot of times it hits multiple layers of your social circle. Because I remember, like, it wasn't a direct situation, but I remember when I was in college, I was working at the call station. I remember one of the chicks that I knew had a boyfriend was smashing my roommate. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I knew her man, but we wasn't partners or nothing, so it wasn't no conflict or no reason for me to say nothing. But I don't know how I would handle it if it was somebody that I was close to or cared about, because of what you said. I've heard of so many situations where the person's so hurt or embarrassed that they attack the messenger. You know what I mean? Like, and that can create a rift in your relationship, especially if they married or got kids. You know what I mean? Like, so it's depending on the depth of the relationship.
What if they engage or about to get married?
Oh, man. That's tough. I gotta tell him. I'm gonna try to sneak a picture though. I'm gonna be like, because I gotta have evidence.
You gotta have some proof. I guess that's a big factor. Majority of the time, you can't prove or verify cheating. That's what makes it such a tough thing. You know what I mean? Like, and even, just simply seeing somebody else's spouse with somebody of the opposite sex doesn't automatically quantify cheating, because they could be having dinner with a family member or their cousin, or you know what I'm saying? Like, so even though you walk to your car and you saw him walking with a girl, first glance that could look like cheating, you know what I'm saying? Like, but that could turn out to not be the case. And that ain't something you can really be wrong on.
I've heard of that, man. But hey, you know what? She want me to be quiet.
Just shut up.
Nah, you got to come up off some neck. No, I'm joking.
So you just kind of alluded to the next question that I wanted to discuss. How do you deal with being accused of cheating by your girl's family members or her friends? Because that has happened. I've definitely dealt with that. Rumors and things coming from your girl's circle of friends where you getting questioned about it. Actually, man, that reminded me of what I was dealing with once I got popular on social media. My wife's friends would read my memes and think they was everything that I'm doing I made a meme about for some reason. So they would be calling my wife and sending my memes to her all day while she was at work, so she'd come home pissed off at me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
oh man, like, what are you doing? What y'all doing, man? I've never been in that situation. Now, if it wasn't true, it's gonna piss me off even more that it's not true, because it's causing issues in the home that shouldn't even be an issue. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you got family members that's done seen you somewhere, you could have been with a relative. I've known that to happen, where one of my guys was with his auntie or something like that, and his auntie was nice. I give him that, but so one of his chick's friends seen him, and it was a huge deal. He had to take a picture with his auntie, send it to her, so she could send it to her friend to see if that was the chick he was with, and all this here. And I'm like, man, it caused so much mess, man. And I'm like, man, this is crazy. So
that's crazy.
I would assume that you really gonna have, because that's her family. Right. You know what I'm saying? And she gonna be like, my family wouldn't lie. So you gonna have to go above and beyond to try to clear your name to the family for her to believe it. Otherwise, most times she gonna believe the family, man, that's telling her that they saw you or you cheating or something like that. Like, it's a tough situation to be in.
Yeah. That's a lot right there to try to prove that you didn't cheat. Because, in this day and age, with smartphones, camera phones and everything, listen, if they don't have pictures, they can't prove it. It's just kind of hearsay, right? They said they're accusing you. It's just kind of your word against their word. So, and here's the thing: if I'm saying, "Hey, no, I'm not," and my word isn't good enough, then
that's a problem.
We gotta reevaluate if this relationship is even worth it or not.
Yeah.
I ain't doing all that, man. All that proving stuff.
Me neither.
Like, if I tell you, I have done it.
You just be like, man, I might as well cheat. You know what I'm saying?
I have done it though. I had a chick a while back where I had like a maid service that would come over and clean my crib. And she had came over after that. I forgot to tell her they was coming over. And man, she was acting funky. I didn't know why she was acting funky. Like when she came over to the crib, I didn't know why she was acting mad. Like, I mean, wouldn't kiss me, none of that. So I'm like, man, you can go home with this attitude. So she finally texted me and was like, what hoe you done had at your house cleaning up and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, I had the maids come over. You ain't had no maids come over there. And it was this whole thing. And I had to send, I didn't have to, but I sent the receipt, which was a day or two earlier. I'm like, look, here's the receipt of when I paid the maid service. Oh, I'm sorry. And it really turned me off. And that was like the
I was about to say,
end of us.
Were you able
talking.
to keep talking to her after that? Because
I did a couple times. I smashed Augusta smithereens a few times, but then like I just couldn't get past the fact that she was that way. You know what I'm saying? And didn't believe me when I told her like, no, it wasn't nothing like that. So I really tried to be, you know what I'm saying? Forgive her for it, but some of the things that she said was disrespectful, and I just saw a different part of her or a different character in her, and it just threw me off to where I couldn't get past it. So I eventually left it alone. So
all right, so I want let's switch it up a little bit. In regards to female family members or protecting a female. How would y'all handle the situation, or what do you think the situation should be? If you have a female in your family or a female friend that is pregnant, and that she's lying or misleading people about the paternity of the baby.
Oh, man, the paternity of the baby. I don't know. It depends on if I like dude or not. Yeah. Like how he been treating her, whatever the case, like in my mind, which, I'll see what's up, but that's just scandalous, man. You know what I'm saying? That's just scandalous. I don't like stuff like that, man. And as a young dad and a father and all that type of stuff, and seeing what happens out here in the streets, to young black men and stuff like that, man, I'll probably tell young homie, hey, man, I'll probably tell him, hey, get a paternity test, man, on any kids that somebody say is yours. I'll be putting that in his head, like, get a paternity test, bro. Like, I ain't gonna probably tell you that, she cheating or whatever, or she know, but I'll be like, yo, get a paternity test. Make sure you do that. Because, every man
That's
deserves
crucial,
to
man.
know that type of stuff. Yeah, like, I don't like that scandalous, trifling type stuff like that.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I mean, stuff like that where, you violate a family trust or whatnot, but it becomes a morality thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, your niece or your cousin or whoever got a boyfriend, but she's cheating on him. You know what I'm saying? You hear her conversations with her friends and whatnot. So that is very, there's a very good chance that this dude she's pinning this on is not the daddy. Like I don't know if I could just sit back and watch that, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, without trying to put something in his ear because right is right and wrong is wrong, man. You know what I mean? Like, so no matter what, we all know why cheating happens and we know it's wrong and all that type of stuff. So I'm not naive to any of that. But
yeah,
there's a certain level of accountability that you got to take, and the paternity one is just placing such a mountain of responsibility on a undeserving party that I don't think I could just sit back and watch that.
Yeah, that's tough, man. Paternity is different. Like, cheating is one thing, but now you got this here dude thinking this kid is his. That's a whole different ball game to me, man. And I gotta put a bug in dudes here, some type of way.
That's a serious thing because it's almost in some ways damned if you don't hear, because
ain't no right answer.
It's all right to if you do it, you might seem messy, or you cause a rift between you and that family member and even the person, or a rift between everyone here. So it's just how you don't know how they're gonna take that there.
Would you want to know?
Of course. Oh, absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. You'll want to know. Like, you'll want somebody to give you some type of game. Like, I might not tell you, like, hey, she cheating. But I'm going to tell you, bruh, make sure you get a paternity test.
Cause I mean, if you found out your girl was cheating, and then you found out after the fact that your homeboy knew because his girl knew, you know what I'm saying? Like he just didn't say nothing. I don't see how that would not impact your relationship with him. You know what I mean? Like, so stuff like
now
that.
You done signed the birth certificate. Now she done put you on child support. Now you've been paying child support for 6 years, and you on the birth certificate, so you got to keep paying. Man, look, we gotta fight. We gotta fight, man.
You don't get none of that money back.
No, you do not. They will not give you a dime. Look, everybody gotta fight. Line them up. Everybody that knew gotta fight at this particular point.
That's why.
Come on, man.
Man, so I wanted to ask y'all, have y'all ever had to be part of somebody's alibi?
Oh yeah.
Why am I not surprised by that?
Yeah, man. Listen, I done been my vehicles done been a part of dude's alibi. Not even the alibi. My vehicles done been a part of the situation. Like, yo, what's up? And yo, let me tell you. So one of my boys, actually, the girl was married. The chick he was dealing with was married, and I guess, you know, the husband had some idea, some inkling, so he knew his ride. So he's like, yo, can I use, you know, your work car, old beater that I had? And I'm like, yeah, man, go ahead, man. So he came, picked the ride up, brought it back or whatever. I go to work. It's a wallet in my car. I'd never seen it. It's a chick's wallet in my car. I'm like, yo, what's up with this one? Oh man, she must have dropped it, yo. I'm like, oh my god. So now he's like, I can't get a wallet back. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta get in touch with Shorty. So I get in touch with him to go bring the wallet back. I'm like, yeah, you left it at the store. I found it or something like that. I done been a part of all types of stuff, man. I done been a part of all types of stuff, man. Alibis, and I done asked my guys to alibi for me back in the day. And they have. You know, you call your guy like, hey, man, didn't we go? You lead them. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, man, didn't we go to the club? We did go to the club. You know, you hope they by themselves and not with his girl, because then he can't lie for you.
I've had to help out with some elaborate cheating schemes. I had one of my partners, his girlfriend lived out of town, and he had like a main chick locally, and so the times his girlfriend would come to visit, he would have to try to maneuver around it, right? And his apartment it had a gate where you had to have a clicker to get in. With my car, I had programmed his button to be able to get in his gate or whatnot. And so we had a situation where I literally had to help him sneak the chick out right as his girlfriend was arriving from the airport. Man, it was crazy.
Wow.
But it was, if I hadn't have been able to open the gate, we wouldn't have been able to pull it off. So yeah, man, it's just part of the stuff you got to do to, you know, you down for the squad.
That's a real answer. You got over there. And a couple things, one time before I asked you, check him in. Hey, he's with me somewhere on Facebook. So his girl scroll through and she sees, hey, me and him are at where and such and such. And that's mainly what I did as far as.
But now y'all know it's real sophisticated how women tag team to cover their tracks. They'll share videos and have everybody post it on their story, and like you could the links that women go to disguise their behavior would be very shocking to those with naive minds.
Right. You know what they do? Nowadays what they do is, or at least it's a little more known, now they'll go out of town. They'll fly out to see a dude, but they'll take a girlfriend with them.
Yep.
And then they'll just take pictures with the girlfriend while they out there and be like, yeah, me and my girl going such a, all the while she going to see a dude. But you'll never know it because she did go over here with her girl. Look, she posted the pictures. Yeah, babe, we out here, we out there. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing, yeah, hey man, that's the move. I'm telling you, these girls trips.
Fellas, good question, man. I'm sure everybody here has probably done this one before too. This is one of the oldest tricks, one. And let's just say you trying to leave a chick crib, or you trying to be out by for a friend. You calling, hey, my car got towed or something. Hey, I need you to come get me, or I broke down somewhere, and just put it on speakerphone. I'm sure everybody's done that one too.
Yeah,
crib.
Go ahead, T.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I haven't had to do anything like that, but I don't have very many situations where I've had to use alibis, because my situation, it kind of went from just one extreme to the next, because I had been kind of promising my wife that once I graduated, I would be willing to get in a relationship. And so it was kind of like my last semester, I was going all out, doing as much as I could. And then after that, it was kind of a clean break after that. So I didn't ever really try to push the envelope. Like, I was never going to take the risk. Like, I know dudes that smash chicks at his crib in the bed that he shared with his girl, and just just ultra dirty dick disrespect. Yeah, like I could never do none of that type of foolishness. So I never had to do some of the stuff that I've seen other guys have to do. Climbing out of windows and just reckless stuff that situations I wouldn't put myself in.
Yeah, is it an alibi or alibi? It's not an alibi. An alibi is a claim or a piece of evidence that one was elsewhere when an act, especially a criminal one, is alleged to have taken place. An alibi is like a truth, and you like, no, I was with, and it's a truth there, right? Not an alibi. An alibi is what we were doing. We were telling lies like, oh yeah, no, we got in, we went here, or yeah, we did this here, and we ain't really did that. You know what I'm saying? That's not no evidence. That's just a lie that we tell it.
A little white lie for the team.
Yeah, for the team. All right.
All right, man. Looks like we are up against the clock, man. We about to get up out of here. But before we go, man, I want to give another shout out to my man, Brother Soul Productions, for keeping us placed with our background music. I want to remind y'all to continue supporting the podcast through our Cash App and our PayPal. J and SD, man, I appreciate y'all linking up so we can get this one knocked out. This has been another episode of the Ho to Husband Podcast, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.